Good morning to you. I'm Nick Saletti. Nohelani Graff is joining us in for Kaylee O'Kelly today. We want to get to that breaking news right away. An explosion underground trapping 2 APS workers, and now we know one of them has died.
And this is going to affect a lot of people on this Monday. All of it is happening near First Avenue and Washington in downtown Phoenix. And this morning, there are some other city employees who are being told not to even come into work. So we want to get straight out to our John Genovese, who is live near the scene this morning. So John, this really could have an impact in the downtown area for most of the day.
Yeah, and crews are now in the process of kind of assessing the damage and preparing to recover that APS worker's body from this underground electrical vault. A very sad situation and a difficult situation as well. I want to bring in Phoenix Fire Captain Rob McDade. Rob, tell us just last night, how do you guys prepare for and respond to something like this so complex underground?
Right, so we're very fortunate. We've trained with APS. They've invited us out to their facilities. We know what these boxes look like, these vaults. We've invited them to our training academies to talk about electricity, the do's and don'ts and all that. We really rely on each other in a partnership.
And underground, you were telling me just a little bit earlier, these are high voltage boxes. There are no overhead lines in downtown Phoenix, so this is what supplies power to these buildings. Preparing to go under there and kind of, not only fight the fire, but recover this body, what does that take?
It takes a lot. It takes training, it takes patience, and it takes a really good respect and understanding of how much voltage is going through that room. This is one of the main feeders for all of downtown, and it affects numerous buildings are going to be without power most of today. So when we go down there, even though we have confirmation that they're off, there's always that feeling that there was an explosion here last night that claimed the life of somebody. So a great deal of respect for it, but we have a job to do. We have to do that job and go down there, and we have to recover that body.
We know streets are closed off here, still a large number of fire crews. What are you guys working on right now?
So right now we're working with light rail, we're working with Valley Metro, we're working with streets. This is a very complex. Just having that fire last night, the injury and the fatality is one big scene for us. But now we've got an entire section of downtown that's going to be without power. We're the city of Phoenix, right? We represent them. We need to take care of them, inform them of what's going on. So we have contingency plans. I know most of the city management, all of our city leaders were up at 5 o'clock this morning, conference call. We've got it mapped out. We're going to take care of everybody coming down here.
Captain, really appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much this morning. And as he said, these companies in this area and these 20, 25-story skyscrapers, many of them are now in the process of calling their employees, letting them know not to come in for the day as streets down here are still closed off. And that's where I want to turn things over to Chelsea Davis. Chelsea, I know you're kind of tracking where these closures are. What are you finding out?
Yeah, so we have different ways for you to get around downtown, John, but we're actually looking at more restrictions than we saw earlier this morning. So I'm going to zoom into the area. This is taking you surface street level right now. So even if you want to take the graphic full for people to see easier, but First Avenue is going to be closed essentially between Jefferson and Van Buren streets in the northbound and southbound direction. And now we're starting to learn that Monroe and Adams will be impacted too. Washington, Jefferson will also be closed between Central Avenue and First Street, and then also First Avenue between Van Buren and Jefferson streets. If you want to travel nearby, you do have those surrounding surface streets that can help you get through, or if you're used to taking the light rail, heads up. There are going to be at least 3 closures in effect right now and no estimated time to reopen, although I did just hear back from Valley Metro saying that you can travel eastbound and westbound at Central Avenue and Van Buren Street, Central and Washington Street, 3rd and Washington Streets. But there are lots of restrictions in the area, so I'll tweet these out and hopefully that'll help you too.